Hey, I'm FriendlyBaron, and welcome to Casual VS Speedrun Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Both players were headed to Big Smoke's house to begin the mission OG Loke. The speedrun was already closer during the mission pass screen as they got moving out of the store quicker when ending the last mission, 9s and AKs. The Casual will take a phone call here that introduces and plays a cutscene regarding the gym system in the game. The speedrun will take this phone call later in the run at a slightly more convenient time. The speedrun and Casual end up taking the same route over to the police station to pick up OG Loke. The speedrun is of course much cleaner in their driving and is flicking the camera to despawn vehicles farther down the road that might get in their way. Unlike newer GTA 5 or GTA 4, GTA San Andreas does not have a full GPS route on the minimap to follow. However, the grid-like system of Los Santos makes getting over the missions not too hard on the casual player. They will likely struggle more when moving to the other cities farther north in the game. After the cutscene, the speedrun turns around as the car is forced to face south. However, heading a little north is the ideal route that lets the speedrun get directly to the freeway, while the casual will stay on surface streets, having to deal with more traffic and lots of turns instead of the mostly straight path the speedrun will take over to the next marker within the mission. Over the course of the series, the driving sections may be fast-forwarded more and more often. In GTA 5, there are tricks like curb boosting and brake boosting while driving that add extra stuff to talk about. The driving in San Andreas, especially in the cities, is still difficult, but doesn't have as much going on every time. So know in the future that if a drive is being fast-forwarded, it's because nothing majorly new is being shown in said drive. I'll do my best to play the good bits at normal speed though to show off the speedrunner's skills, as the driving in this run is as good as someone playing a racing game. The casual walks up the stairs pretty normally to hit this marker. There's quite a bit that's going to happen here, so we'll watch just the casual first. Once on the motorcycle, you are chasing OG Loke's prison lover in an attempt to silence him via death. OG Loke is on the back of the bike shooting, and the casual feels like they will just need to get through these alleyways and get close enough to Freddy, who is on the other motorcycle, in order to get him killed. However, the motorcycle in front rubber bands with the player, which means it will go as fast or as slow as you go. If you've ever played an arcade racing game like Need for Speed or Burnout, the AI in those games does the same all the time, but usually ends up just behind you instead. Due to that rubber banding, this chase isn't supposed to end. OG Loke never hits his shots on the back of your motorcycle, and this drive takes over 3 minutes for the casual until they end at a scripted location where a shootout will happen. The speedrun does not wish to spend 3 minutes on a motorcycle chase, and has a different plan in mind. The speedrun cuts right going up the stairs just to skip a bit of running. Once on the bike, they will follow Freddy as normal for the first few alleyways with excellent apexing on the corners. So well that OG Loke on the back of the speedrun's bike cuts through walls as he doesn't actually have a full hitbox here. The speedrun will turn left before the last alley and go around to where the bike is going to be in a few moments. The rubber banding means as the player goes up the hill instead of through the alley, the other bike slows down just enough to let the speedrun arrive to the corner first, and then line up directly behind and use their own gun to take out the other motorcycle. The speedrun then heads south towards the next part of the mission to get as far as possible before the cutscene plays. This cutscene is located at the park where the mission is supposed to end, but the speedrun will still be located where they actually ended the mission by exploding the other bike. They then get a vehicle, get OG Loke in the car, and head to the end of the mission. Back to the casual's longer chase, they do attempt to use their gun to shoot at Freddy, but it's not very effective. The player only has about one magazine of ammo at this point, and almost all of it needs to go into the bike to blow it up. In GTA SA, you can only shoot straight forward or to the sides on a motorcycle, so the casual is too far away and going too fast to get that perfect aim. Also note the casual's health is blinking right now. Freddy shoots back at the player during this mission and kills our casual. They started the chase with only 75% health, so they're going to learn from this and be much more careful in later missions that watching your health is important. GTA SA is a very punishing game, as many were back in the early 2000s and before. Your health doesn't naturally regen, and deaths fail the mission completely, no checkpoints to save progress, and weapons wiped when busted or dying. So our casual has to go through the entire start of the chase again, being much more careful to not get too close to the other bike that they die again. While that happens, we can replay the speedrun's kill on Freddy. The speedrunner doesn't have only one chance at this, which is useful for new players. If messed up, there is a second spot you can attempt this just slightly farther along the path. Hugo1 covers it in his tutorial videos for San Andreas. Casual VS Speedrun is meant to be mostly entertainment, but also works as a sort of guide. But if you really want to get into speedrunning this game, Hugo1 and KZFru have tutorial series on the whole game. They do have some outdated strats, but my video will cover the newer stuff. Those guys just will go into slightly more detail and provide lots of alternative routes when things go wrong. Most people who watch speedruns do it for entertainment, kind of like I watch sports but don't play them myself. If you want to get into speedrunning though, my suggestion is that you make notes while watching videos such as mine, then go watch another guide and try to remember what's going to happen next based off your notes, and correct the notes as needed. Repeat that until you have it memorized and then hop into the game. Our casual has ended up at the park where the mission is supposed to end, and takes out Freddy on foot. They continue to take out other gang members, but the mission could be over already if the casual wasn't aiming down sights right now. Holding down right click to aim stops cutscenes from beginning until you stop aiming sometimes. Our speedrun can finally get moving again, and basically just has to take a straight line to the end of the mission along the freeway and then the main road to the burger shot. The casual gets back onto the motorcycle they have been on and snake through the city to the same location. Something else the speedrun did during the motorcycle chase is create another replay as I discussed last episode, which is used to skip fade-ins of cutscenes and influence vehicle spawns. It's ideal to make it during the start of the chase as you get control quickly and can make the replay very short in that specific load, so it's only half a second long, and lets the player influence the vehicles around them so that at the start of the next mission there will be a very fast motorcycle for the speedrun to take. The shorter the replay is, the less time has to be spent watching it. You have to watch the full thing every time, and the game stops while you're watching it. You'll see the speedrun flash to the motorcycle section again for a moment, then return to driving down the road as before. That is the replay being played. Both players finally arrive to the burger shot that drop off OG Loke, and complete the mission OG Loke. The speedrun took ideal driving routes and used that trick to take out Freddy earlier than intended to make for an 8-minute difference, a massive 71% change between the two players. The speedrun has played for only half the time as the casual now. However, 4 of those 8 minutes include the death of the casual. We're going to count the death for the overall run as it is part of the game, but if you are curious, here's what the times would be without the death. A more reasonable 55% difference in the casual and speedrun, which is about the same difference most other missions have had so far as well. The speedrun runs into the trigger for Life's a Beach right away. Our casual second guesses that choice and opts to first go inside to get some food to heal up. This mission doesn't actually carry a risk of death for either player, but they are playing it safe after last mission's health-related problems. It wouldn't have mattered anyways. This mission can only be started during certain times of day, between 10 PM and 6 AM, 22 to 6. So the casual has to drive back to CJ's house to save, which passes the game by 6 hours as they had learned earlier in the tutorials. The writing for the speedrun takes all the missions that are time of day specific into account so you are starting them within the correct window. Most of the other missions like that are close to your save icon anyways, so sometimes it's only a small detour to save 1 to 3 times to get the time of day correct. But this mission can be quite a pain as it's so far away from the only save icon currently unlocked. Now at the right time of day, both players can begin the mission. The speedrun has a motorcycle in the parking lot thanks to playing that replay earlier to affect the spawn table, while the casual just has to grab something random. The mission Life's a Beach, which I hope doesn't get me demonetized, has you tasked by OG Loke to get a sound system for his upcoming party, and there was one at the beach at a hangout. The intended way the casual will do this is by impressing the DJ with CJ's dancing skills, which is just a small minigame where you press buttons in time as they hit the middle circle to hit a score of 2500 or more to pass this section. It's basically DDR for your fingers and takes about 2 minutes to complete normally, at which point you are invited into the van for other acts with the DJ, but the player instead kicks her out and steals the van off the beach. The speedrun has a different way to get into the van as there's no way to speed up the actual dancing. Even if you get the score early, you cannot exit the dance at that point. They pull up to a group of friendly gang members and recruit one to come with them. This is a mechanic that gives you a squad basically, intended to help in shootouts in gang territories later in the game. After the cutscene plays, the speedrun will drive up and attempt to get into the van. It's locked for them, but the NPC gang member is able to get into the passenger seat instead, so as he gets in, the speedrun then shoots the recruit so he falls out and leaves a door open the speedrun can then get into. And that's how the speedrun steals the sounds. Let's replay that again because it goes fast. The speedrunner runs away to kill the gang member, as if they are any closer, the gunshots spook the partygoers. It's very odd how close you can be without spooking them still though. The speedrun also disbands the gang as they run away at first, as that stops the recruit from getting out of the vehicle to follow them. Now it's a rather simple matter of getting to the garage where the DJ van is dropped off. The speedrun takes a route here that is mostly straight again, and also minimizes going over bumps as this vehicle basically has no suspension travel. It just boinks around anytime you hit a curb. Something else to note you might notice on the speedrunner footage is that it looks from side to side often. This is our speedrunner reset pressing Q or E to look to the sides on purpose. In GTA San Andreas on PC, the cheat codes can be entered by typing certain phrases such as "Hey so yam." However, the game can also get cheat codes from certain combinations of WSAD, similar to the inputs done on consoles. There's an infamous moment where Reset killed a speedrun by accidentally entering the cheat to spawn a helicopter, and entering cheats, even accidentally, makes the run unable to be submitted to the leaderboards. Josh Amuz had the same problem once where he entered D, 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 A, D, W, D, which activated the cheat code to change the weather. There's two ways around this. Rebind the movement keys in-game to something other than WSAD, then use a third-party program on your computer to bind those keys to WSAD on your keyboard. Or just press Q and E to interrupt the flow of WSAD inputs, as our runner Reset is in the habit of doing. Both players pull into the garage and finish the mission. Thanks to having that fast motorcycle and the homie strat to skip the dancing minigame, the speedrun is blazingly quick on this mission, finishing Life's a Beach in under 2 minutes, while the casual took over 8 minutes. Of that 6-minute difference in time though, half of it came from having to get food and then going back to CJ's house to get the time of day correct, which just emphasizes how important it is that the speedrun's mission order lines up with the time of day. Mission 9 in the game is Running Dog. Both players need to get a car, and the speedrun gets into the passenger seat as it kicks the driver out faster rather than pulling them out manually. Whenever the speedrun is stealing a car off the street, it's a mix of getting lucky with a good car, but also not spending too much time looking for one. Running all the way down the road for a fast sports car often isn't worth the time you'd save by actually driving in said car. The speedrun parks on the other side of the wall and takes the gym phone call. The cutscene will begin right as they get near the mission marker, and the mission will instantly begin when the tutorial ends, making sure that no movement time is wasted. The casual took a similar route over, learning about some more back alleys around the map, but the speedrun still begins the mission before them even with taking the phone call, thanks to their quick car grab and driving. Running Dog starts with a familiar drive northeast into the upper part of the city, where CJ and Smoke are meeting with some Vagos gang members, and you end up having to chase one down and kill him. There's nothing scripted at the end of this chase, you can kill him as soon or as late as you want to, though if you chase him for like 5 minutes or something it can time out. The speedrun has some clean turns and hits into the marker to start the next section. Skipping the cutscene instantly begins the chase. The speedrun won't follow the gang member directly, but instead go left to avoid vaulting over the fence, and then hit a clean headshot the moment they see the gang member again, and that's the end of the mission. This shot right here is a big part of why all those little moments of shooting cars or allies the raised pistol skill earlier in the run was so important. The casual will now demonstrate the intended way to play here. The gang member gains a ton of distance on CJ as he vaults over these fences, and possibly gets distracted with the other 2 gang members that try to shoot you too. There's a backup strat for the speedrun if you were bad at the shot, where there is a car spawn back at the start of the chase and you can drive it to catch up to the Vago and run him over in this intersection. Our casual tries landing a few shots here but only succeeds in spooking a bunch of other drivers. After a few more corners, he'll be close enough to finally get a good shot on the enemy and end the mission as well, back almost exactly where the game initially begins. It's a very speedy mission for both players. The casual only took 2 minutes and the speedrun 45 seconds less than that despite having to take the gym phone call, thanks to perfect driving and getting the early shot on the gang member. To begin drive-by, we need to get back to Grove Street, so both players are looking for a vehicle. The speedrun has a bit of a traffic mess due to the NPCs panicking from the shot, but have no real problems getting a vehicle. The casual gets a decent car, but unluckily gets a tire shot out by an attacking gang member, which makes the drive back significantly harder for them. The driving in this game is pretty tough about braking and turning, and amplifies that effect when missing a tire. Drive-by is a tutorial mission mechanics-wise, teaching the player about shooting from vehicles and escaping the cops using paint sprays to change the color of the current vehicle, while it also tries to further the storyline about the gang wars around the city. The speedrun is quick to leave with passengers. You only need to wait for the animation of them beginning to get into the car to start before driving away, and sometimes have to slow down just a moment when accelerating to make sure they fully get into the car before going too fast. The drive over to the first shootout is very simple and ends up being the same for both players route-wise. The speedrun just pushes every car to its limits with racing lines and cutting corners where appropriate. At each shootout, the speedrun will not shoot nor let the passengers do all the work, but is most effective by running over as many people as possible. The speedrun will look backwards as the rest of the crew cleans up the stragglers. The next group is right in front of the car and these NPCs can't spawn in if you're looking where they're going to be. The speedrun again runs some people over in these next 2 groups and has the crew do the rest. The Casual is doing the drive-by shooting mechanics as intended, though by the next group they're going to accidentally figure out that running people over is much more effective as well, as shooting out of vehicles is pretty limited in this game. The speedrun gets the last grouping in the tunnel, with the passengers finishing off the guys as they turn around. This mission is almost surprising for how effective your AI allies are at killing enemies. No teammates are as effective in any other point in a GTA game, or even in a Call of Duty campaign. The Pay and Spray in GTA SA is the quick mod shop that just changes the color of your vehicle, which begins the cooldown on losing the cops, even if they see you go inside. The speedrun just drives right in, while the Casual first pull up to the red dot before realizing how the mechanic works. As the speedrun leaves the Pay and Spray, they will shoot once to regain the attention of the cops. Even though the point of the mission is to teach you how to lose the cops, you don't actually have to lose them to end the mission. So we want to keep some stars so that a police vehicle will be nearby at the start of the next mission. In most future missions that involve a Pay and Spray, you actually have to lose the cops before the end though. Both players head back to Grove Street to end the mission, and the speedrun will again shoot to continue provoking the cops just as the mission pass text comes up. The speedrun takes 2.5 minutes to complete this mission, and the Casual takes 2 minutes longer because of the runner starting the mission faster due to where they ended Running Dog, driving better, and running over the gang members instead of trying to shoot them down. Mission 11, Sweets Girl, begins right away on the mission marker. The speedrun still has a wanted level, so they can grab a quick cop bike, while the Casual will have to run to the road and find a vehicle. The speedrun can drive through the tighter alley behind the houses directly to the next part of the mission, where we have to rescue Sweet from being attacked by rival gang members. The speedrun will despawn a few vehicles to clear out the area, then jump off the bike and shoot down the attackers quickly. Even though it's still somewhat early in the game, this many enemies this close could easily wreck the speedrun's health, and the slightly improved pistol skill here continues to be useful for these moving shots. The speedrun can then just hop into the vehicle already here and use that to pick up Sweet and his girlfriend, and they are holding the horn as the cops will just shake their fist instead of busting you out of the car. The speedrun can then drive away the exact route reversed to Grove Street after the phone call ends to bring Sweet outside, not worrying about the chasing vehicles. The Casual arrives and attempts to run over a few of the enemies, but isn't too successful, because of the vehicles not despawned in the road. They have more cover, and when you are aimed directly at them for so long, they jump out of the way of the car sooner. The Casual will take the shootout slowly and from a safe distance. It's not that bad when only one of the enemies at a time is in range to hit you. They can then grab the same car and head back to Grove Street as well. As the speedrun takes the back alley to the marker, they will jump out of the vehicle. This skips the cutscene of everyone getting out of the car since CJ is no longer in it, and goes straight to the next part. This mission was really smooth for the Casual overall, and I foresee some people saying it's much harder, which it is for sure if you try to play it fast. In fact, new speedrunners often have problems with this mission. However, in general, our Casual is a pretty cautious player when it comes to unknown situations, so this will be our average. The speedrun is faster than the Casual by a minute because of getting that quick cop bike and the very fast headshots on the enemy gang members to rescue Sweet. Overall, the Casual has played for 51 minutes, and the speedrun about half that at 24 minutes. Thanks for watching, really enjoying making Casual vs Speedrun again. If you like the video, pressing that darn like button helps make sure others see the video, which helps me keep making more of them. If you want to see more yourself, either stalk me through my windows to see when I upload videos, or just subscribe to my channel so YouTube can do the whole stalker thing for you. Very unhappy. Hey, I need your car, thanks. Please don't blow up, please don't blow up. I'm gonna die. I can't get the car. What, I'm not dead? Oh, now I'm dead. Okay. Alright. I was like, damn.